Today I want to talk about an important investment saying, and that is, heads I win, tails I don't lose much. I recently watched a video by Andrew Moore. I'll link to his video up the top there. And it was on this saying, heads I win, tails I don't lose much. Now, this video really resonated with me and it really has been my own personal investing strategy. And it wasn't until I watched this video that it really was put so elegantly. So today I want to talk about the saying, and that is, heads I win, tails I don't lose much. And really break this down and explain how you can use this with your property investment journey. Now, as always, this video is purely for entertainment. Take away from what you will, but don't sue me. So jumping right into it, in Andrew's video he talked about Richard Branson and how when he started Virgin Airlines, essentially he was able to minimise the downside and maximise the upside from starting this project. Now, to buy a Boeing plane was going to cost him hundreds of millions, but instead Richard Branson was actually able to lease an airplane, lease a plane for a year, and essentially to start Virgin Airlines only cost Richard Branson $2 million. Now, at the time of investing that, Virgin Records was making around $12 million a year, so $2 million in the scheme of that wasn't a great deal of risk for the potential upside, and we all know how big Virgin Airlines are today and how big Richard Branson is today. So he was able to use his strategy of heads I win, tails I don't lose much, and really start that investment journey with a small amount of downside in his scale with a huge amount of upside. Now, this strategy is really important when looking at property investing because it's not a binary outcome. It's not like going to the casino, putting your money on red on roulette, and you either win or you lose. Property investing is so much more diverse, and you can have a situation where you potentially might lose a little, be it 5 or 10% of your investment, but have the upside of making so much more and possibly early retirement, financial freedom from property investing. So to break this down and look at it in the eyes of investing in property, I want to look at buying a $350,000 house. Now, to buy an investment property worth $350,000, you're probably going to need to put around $50,000 of either equity or cash into that deal. Now, if you're buying it as an investment and is cash flow positive, really the downside of that deal is very, very limited. To say it was cash flow positive in year one and returning somewhere around that 5% net is essentially enough to cover your principal and interest repayments and pay off that loan over a period of around 20 years, especially when you take into consideration that rental prices aren't stagnant, and if you're buying in an area that has a diverse economy, the chances are your rental income is going to increase over the years, while your loan is likely to stay the same over the loan period. So if you are buying an investment property that is positively geared, let's say the worst case scenario and prices drop by 20%, obviously prices could go to zero, but I think the chances of that are extremely limited, especially if you are buying in a diverse economy and in a town that does have a number of employers and a number of different industries. The chances of your property being worth zero are extremely slim. But the chances of your property prices dropping by 20%, look, it could happen. So let's say you buy a positively geared property that the rental income covers both the principal and the interest payments on the loan plus your other outgoings. Essentially, you're going to own that property outright in 20 years. So let's say worst case scenario, property prices drop by 20% and your $350,000 investment is suddenly only worth $280,000. If your tenant's been paying the property off for you, within a 20-year period you will actually own that property outright, even though you haven't put any more money towards the property. So your downside risk is essentially you'll own an asset worth $280,000 that continues to have a rental income with you only chipping in a $50,000 upfront equity payment or deposit. So the downside risk of investing in property is very small. One would say it's even a positive, even if prices did drop 20% if you're buying positively geared property. Now, that's the tails situation. That's what happens if property prices drop. The upside is if property prices continue to climb. So say prices went up by just 5% per annum, both on the rental side and on the sales side. Now, within 20 years, your $350,000 home is going to be worth close to $800,000, and your $350 a week rental income is going to be worth $800 per week. So that's the head situation, and that's where you can really see that you can start to win big. So I guess the moral of this video is to really look at, when you are investing, at the fact that it's not a binary outcome. It's not a matter of you either win or you lose. The fact is that you can protect your downside and really look at what the downside risk is of that tails you losing and how you can minimize the loss, and look at the head situation of if you do win and how great that win can be. So there you have it, guys. That's the strategy of heads I win, tails I don't lose much. I have had a heap of subscribers join this channel lately, so I do thank you for that and thank you for your support. If you have enjoyed these videos, make sure you subscribe, make sure you hit the like button. We love bringing out new content on this channel and can't wait to talk to you soon.